Hey everybody. So I wanted to talk about this Bishop Eddie Long thing, and I actually made a video before, but I figured that I should just redo it just because. Just because. Um. Anyway, so the Bishop Eddie Long situation. Basically, here is my take on that or what's going on. I read a couple articles and I watched a couple of news reports or whatever about it, but um, other than that, I'm really looking for some more information because I'm just feeling like there's nothing there. There's nothing here at all in the case for me to be moved by. So, I mean, if you don't know, which you probably do know already, because if you're watching this video, then you obviously know and you care. So, apparently now there's three men that are suing Bishop Eddie Long for coercing them into having sex or whatever as minors or something. I don't know. Okay, so here's my issue, number one, with this whole thing. If this is something that is obviously a crime, because apparently when this sex happened, they were underage. Why are these people not bringing criminal charges against him? I don't understand that. I can't stand that at all. Another problem I have, one of the guys was just as recently as June of this year charged with burglarizing Bishop Eddie Long's office and taking close to $100,000 worth of items. So you obviously have a monetary motive, and I don't trust you, basically. And honestly, his credibility is pretty much shot at this point. And that's important because according to his lawyer, that's pretty much all that he has. According to this article that I was reading the other day, the reason pretty much that she took the case was because she said because of the emotion and the intensity in their description of what happened, of the sexual acts or whatever that Eddie Long made them perform and all of this, that, and the other. Basically, she, picked them because they were creative, I guess. You know what I mean? Like, she believes them because they're so detailed with this. And I'm sorry, but that's just not a reason to accuse someone. That's not enough evidence to accuse someone of something so heinous. Like, do they know that just by this accusation alone, like, they're screwing with this man's reputation? Like, seriously. And ultimately his life, his church, all of that. Like, I mean, they're ruining a lot of lives just by filing the suit, okay? But like, even beyond that, okay, fine. Maybe she's she has great intuition. Maybe they're telling the truth and she's right. So when I guess in whatever interview that she was doing, they asked her, how are you going to prove that sexual contact took place? And this chick says, I'm ready to put the young men under oath. Bishop Eddie Long can hire the best attorneys in the world, and they can question them, and then I'll question Eddie Long, and then we'll really see what's going on. Are you serious? Like, you're gonna prove your case in questioning the witness? Like, that's really it? Like, that's where your case is coming from? Just going back and forth with Eddie Long? Really? I mean, this is honestly why I cannot stand the media, because there are people who are jumping on this bandwagon that Eddie Long is a pedophile or whatever, a hypocritical, whatever, okay, everything. He's the devil pretty much. And there is no evidence behind any of this. Now, I saw the two pictures that they released. As random to me, honestly, I thought it was really random of him to take those pictures. I thought it was really, I mean, honestly, if I were a pastor, I probably wouldn't take those kind of pictures just because, you want to shun the very appearance of evil. But at the same time, I could understand the theme and the function of them. They appear to be workout, weightlifting, you know what I mean? Like, it seemed like that was the basis and the underlying goal was to show results from his weightlifting or from his workout or whatever, And I mean, honestly, I didn't know he was really into working out. I didn't know that he was really that swole. Because I mean, under the suits, he just looked big. He don't really look cut. But I mean, I could understand why someone would take those pictures. Now, here's the thing. A lot of, like, I read somewhere, people were like, why would you send that to a 15 or 16-year-old? Which I guess that's how old the guys were at the time. I don't know. I have not seen, or I don't know. I'm not sure if I necessarily believe that those were sent to those guys in particular. But if they were, and from what I read, those young men were a part of his program that he did for young men. And then eventually one of them or a couple of them started working for the nonprofit organization or whatever it is. I mean, if you're teaching young men about image, about, appreciating self-image, I can understand why someone might think that that's a way to do it. I honestly think that probably was not appropriate. But the main point here is that there was no sexual nature within those pictures at all. There was nothing sexually suggestive or subliminal or anything about those pictures. He wasn't licking his lips. He wasn't looking at the camera, all seductively. He didn't, he didn't even, like, you couldn't even see any, like, genital prints, because I was definitely looking for those in that one when he was in all black, because I was like, dang, his clothes are so doggone tight. Like, you should be able to see a peen print or something, but you couldn't. There was nothing really to say, I'm trying to sell you or solicit to you sex. But basically, and I'm sorry for throwing my hands around a lot, but basically the point is, there are no criminal charges. There's no evidence. There's nothing for me to base a decision on. I cannot say that he did it, and I cannot say that he did it, and I won't say that he didn't, because I'm leaving that open, because people will surprise you, But even if I did want to accuse him of, even if I did want to associate that with him, there is nothing that I could actually logically say, yeah, that looks pedophile-ish. You know what I mean? Like, and it's really frustrating to me when people are so up in arms about this. Like, all you have to hear is that a pastor or a Christian leader was in some way associated in a sex scandal. And it's like these group of pretty much, I don't even want to call them haters, but that's really all they do. They just kind of harbor hatred towards Christians. It's like they just jump up like, oh, that's my cue. It's time for me to make a YouTube video. It's time for me to write a blog. It's time for me to go all the way off on Christians because there was an accusation or an allegation against a Christian person for doing something wrong. Like, it's ignorant. Like, that's honestly how I feel about the people that get up here and make videos like that or write blogs with no type of information, no type of facts, no type of sources or anything. Like, they are the most ignorant people, and I'm sorry if that's you and you subscribe to me. I'm sorry, honey, but you're ignorant, and it's honestly, it's really, really annoying. Wait until you get some actual evidence. Weigh both sides of it. Never just take something on its face like, oh, okay, well, you're probably telling the truth because it's something that we hear about, at some point or not. You know what I mean? It's something that we hear about pretty often. No, don't just make assumptions like that. Like, what kind of... So, anyway, like I said, I'm not going to say that he didn't do it because I don't know that yet. And honestly, I'm not saying that it's possible that he did, but I'm going to allow the people, the young men, an opportunity to prove that he did. However, if they cannot prove it, and right now they really can't, I'm sorry, you gotta let the man breathe. Like, you really can't hold him to that. You know what I mean? If you can't prove it, it's like someone says, oh, you stole, you robbed the jewelry store, and you have to come up with an alibi because they made that accusation. They don't have to have any type of facts or any type of evidence or anything. All I have to do is just say that you did it. And then all of a sudden you have to scramble around and try to defend yourself. Well, where were you this night? And what were you? No. Eddie Long does not have to defend himself until those three young men and their attorney actually come up with some facts or some evidence or something substantial to make it look like he did what they're saying he did. Because right now, all they have is a couple of chapters out of a Zane novel, okay? All they got is description of what happened, what they say happened or whatever, and a couple of pictures of the man after a workout or in workout attire. I mean, it's just not enough. I'm sorry. Anyway, I'm going to end it here. And I will talk to y'all later. Everything's going good with me right now. I'm speaking that into existence. Everything is fine. I'm in law school. It's a lot of work. But, yeah, it's going okay. So, that's it. Maybe I'll make a video sometime later on. I don't know. We'll see. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.